Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's me, it's Lavinia Masters. It's your girl. I'm here with you this morning, and we're going to talk about toxic. We are going to talk about toxic. We are going to talk about toxic. Before we talk about toxic, let's get a little house rules going this morning. First of all, I have an event coming up December the 11th. And I'm going to need y'all to go on my website or go to the event, and I'm going to need you to join the event. And if you can't make the event, I'm going to need you to support a survivor of sexual or relationship violence, because this is going to be the real deal. Holyfield. It's going to be a nice dinner, a nice dress up, but we're going to do things a little bit different at this Celebrate the Release holiday luncheon. We're hoping to make this a quarterly thing because and yes, there is a fee, but it's going you will see once you get there. I do a lot of stuff free. I get a lot to my communities, and I'm not complaining, but I'm going to need you to support me because I support you. Yes, I said it. I love you, but I mean what I'm saying. So go to my website, laviniamasters.com, Celebrate the Release. If you can't make it, support a survivor or donate to the cause. That's housekeeping rules. Housekeeping rule number 2. I heard that they have stars. Give me stars so I can continue to shine on Facebook and whatever activities. And I'm not doing this for me. I do it so my voice can be heard. I feel my voice needs to be heard. Look at me waking up with my self-worth this morning. We need to try that more often. Thank you very much. You can have it anytime. Third of all, I need you to listen to me. In all sincerity, I need you to tune in to what I have to say this morning. I want to talk about toxic. I want to talk about toxic people, toxicity. I want to talk about that. Some people may think I'm toxic. I may think a lot of you are toxic. But when we talk about toxic, first of all, you got to define what toxic is. What does the dictionary say toxic is? Toxic basically is poison, right? Toxic is something that can be detrimental to your health. Toxic is something that can possibly kill you, can cause your demise, right? That's what toxic is. So, do you think that all of us can be toxic? Do you think that you have the ability to be toxic? I do. I own that I have, and I can. Do you know why? You know why we can all be toxic? Because I promise you, all of us have some sort of traumatic experiences from our past. Some of us have all endured something that has not always been pleasant for us. And it affects us in different ways. And sometimes it causes us to be toxic. If I can sit down and tell you some stories of the arguments. I've been married 32 years. If I can tell you some of the arguments or the fallouts that I've had with my spouse over the years, and if I tell you my version, you're going to say, oh my God, Lavinia, because I'm mad. Because when I get mad, I get mad. And honey, I would make my husband sound like a monster. I know I can. You would say, Lavinia, he is so toxic. But if you sit down and you listen to Ricky Lee, and he's just the sweetest little, and he is good heart, good man, and he tell you some of the stuff I done, I said, and how I carried out with him, you gonna say, man, I leave her. She is toxic. And that's not always the case. It's not saying that our relationship is not healthy. It's not saying that our relationship don't have those moments where things become toxic, where they become unhealthy for one another because we allow our emotions and our angers and our frustrations to build up in us. Because guess what? All of us have some sort of toxic in us. It's the matter of us recognizing when toxic things rear its head in our relationships, in our friendships, in our conversations, how we deal with one another, how we deal with that toxicity. And I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I think that's why a lot of people don't like me, because that's how I am. I got to be transparent. I got to keep it real. I lived a lie for so long that I was a liar. I don't live like that anymore. So if you want to know something, you want me to talk about something, you want the truth, I ain't the one to ask. I'm not the one to come to, because I've been through too much. I've seen too much. I've endured too much. I had to learn things. I had to be crushed. I had to be broken down, rebuilt. I had to start over with a lot of things in my life. Was some of it may cause some toxicity in my life? Yes, it did. But I had to also learn that I had to recognize and realize those things that were toxic, those things that can be poisonous to others, those things that are still poisonous to us. My point of all of that is we have to be mindful. And I spoke briefly yesterday. I put a post up about our attitudes. Sometimes our attitudes, the negativity that we spew out is part of our toxicity that dwells within us. Some of us really need to clean up, really need to focus on those things. Some of us really need to come out of the mindset that woe is me. I deserve to live in my state of pettiness so I can be petty. And I'm just keeping it real because I've done it. I loved staying in my pity mindset because I knew if people pity me, then it's like they can approve me being petty about everything. But that gets old. That wears down on people. That's going to wear down on you. You have to be mindful. Nobody is, and I know it seems like it's a cliche, but nobody is perfect. Nobody's going to always have an excellent day. Nobody's not always going to say the right thing. Nobody's not going to always just make you feel like you're the best. You're on top of the world. You're this and you're that. It's not going to happen. But you have to control your emotions, your feelings, the things that come out of your mouth, your attitudes. You have to think about the consequences that you have to deal with because of your toxicity that dwells in your life. Like I said, we're gonna all have, sometimes toxic is something that's radioactive. And you ever remember them cartoons when we were kids? With those that, I don't know how cartoons are different now, but those cartoons when we were kids and they would have like this radioactive, these barrels, like, what is it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatever. And that stuff was radioactive, it was toxic. And you think about all these lawsuits they got now and they're saying how these different chemicals are toxic and can kill you. But a lot of it destroys us because we didn't know about the toxic things. We didn't recognize the poisonous gases that was in the air. A lot of it was deception. A lot of it was brought on because, I don't know if it was a conspiracy with the government or if it was just the not acknowledging things because it was all about making money and it seemed good at the time. You think about chemicals and the permanence that they said for your hair. Like, I don't do chemicals anymore. I haven't done chemicals in my hair about 17 years, but I promise you back in the day, I slapped it on my scalp like hair grease. My hair has to be long and thick, and my texture will never be the same because I recognized the toxins and chemicals a long time ago. And I recognized how my hair would break and easily and bend, and it would never be the same because of the chemicals that my scalp couldn't handle. Some people can handle those chemicals. Some people can handle those toxics when it comes to that, but I couldn't. My point of that is I had to recognize the toxins and hair relaxers and putting them in my hair, and I had to stop. And even though I'm tender-headed, and I go do my sew-ins because I ain't got to mess with my hair, because when I have to do my own hair, this is the end result. Nothing. I don't know what to do. But what I'm saying is we have to recognize and honor in our body. I should have put on Do Not Disturb. I'm sorry. We have to recognize and honor toxins when they surface in our lives. We have to recognize and honor those toxic things. And a lot of it's our own toxins, the things that we've allowed to come in. And some of the toxins unwillingly. Not our fault. It's not our purpose. It's not my fault that I was sexually abused. It's not my fault that I was raped. It's not my fault that a lot of things happened to me. I wasn't aware that it would cause such damage to me, such toxins to me. And sometimes it comes out. It spews out in my conversations, in my attitude, in my day-to-day living. And we have to be, when I say honor it, I'm not saying I'm toxic. I'm saying honor it, meaning be honest with yourself. Be true to your game is all I'm saying. We talk about being 100. We talking about being true. We talking about I'm down. No, be true to your game. Be true to who you really are. This is me. if I'm toxic, if you feel I'm toxic, you can let me know, Lavinia, I think you're toxic. Okay, let's talk about why I'm toxic. Am I toxic because I'm being nasty towards you? I'm spewing my anger, my frustrations, my past, my traumas, my failed relationships, failed this, and I'm blaming you for that. Is that why I'm being toxic, or am I toxic to you because you're toxic? You won't acknowledge the toxicity in your life, and you can't handle the truth, or you can't be faced with your own personal demons. You don't like that mirror that's before you. Maybe that mirror is there so you can fix the things in your life. You can begin to clean up that residue of toxins that are dwelling in your life. My point, all of us can be toxic. Nobody really fully understands relationships of others, marriages of others, friendships of others when you see things. Yes, you can recognize someone and you're like, man, that's pure toxic right there. You can see somebody fighting or arguing and you may think that's toxic. That may not be healthy, but to them it may not be poisonous. They may have a mutual agreement. That's how they deal with things. My point of all of this is we're going to learn how to address the toxins that are within us. That's how we're going to start. We can't solve the problems of the world if we don't deal with ourselves. This is some of my issues that I honestly have with people that come and they're the perfect gurus for this, or they have the perfect books and the perfect topics, or the eloquent preachers and pastors and speakers, and I throw myself in that category, and we got everything perfect and positive to say and give you the advice, but we cannot. We cannot own up and say we've experienced or we've been through it or we walked through it or we can identify with it or we understand it. And that's why I can tell you that we have to deal with our own toxins. I'll read a book. I'll read the Bible. I'll read what Lowe's and Hoes, but Lowe's and it just rhymed. What they say. Good advice. That's all good. But I want to give you some real deal Holyfield and what toxic living has done for me. What taking in toxic things in my life, things that has caused toxicity in my life, such as abuse, rape, manipulation, hurt, pain, trauma, lies, confusion, misunderstandings, all of that. And it just dumped on me, and it caused toxic. And because it's in this whole barrel of mess and mass confusion in my life now. So now when I spew it out, if you come to me like he came to me back in the day, it's going to be toxic because now you're reminding me of that situation, that relationship, that conversation, something, you triggering me. So now I have toxic tendencies and vice versa. My point is, let us identify. Let us own your mess is what I'm trying to say. Own your, we're good at going around talking about others, but we don't want to talk about ourselves. This is why I'm hated. I know why I'm despised. I know why people don't like listen to my conversations, because I'm going to make you think about yourself. Baby, I had to go through to get here. And I still own stuff. I'm still married. My husband tells me stuff that I don't know I'm doing, and I have to sit back and think. I have to think. I have to listen. I can't just, when you arguing, when you mad, you can't communicate right properly. You communicate, but it's like the things that are really being said, I gotta sit back and think like, this boy said this. What the heck he meant by that? And I will pray about it. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm not, honey, don't get me twisted. I'm not what's that word we say? Cause he'll tell you too, he ain't henpecked, I ain't pecked. I'm not self-blaming. I'm not taking on behaviors and allowing him to be more narcissistic with me and different things. Cause you know what? Cause I know where I've been. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do. I know what I can say. I I've done enough self-blaming that I know what that looks like. I've done it so much so that I don't allow nobody else to blame me for anything. But I got to stop and think. Now, hold up. Miss Patty Perfect, where you come from? You initiated that. You started that. You were wrong. You were disrespectful. You were snide. You were rude. Well, they don't give them a right to say. Well, they don't. Hold up. Let's leave the rights alone. Let's stay on the subject of toxic. My point of all this, and I know I sound like I'm rambling, and I may be rambling, because I see a lot of stuff that aggravates me. It aggravates, especially when it comes in my lap. Don't come to me with it. Don't come to me with no toxic mess. I got enough that I deal with. I got enough that still tries to creep out the barrel. I got enough residue. It's like I don't care how much bleach I use, how much whatever, trying to clean it out. There's something still there. And I've learned that that's life. And when it rears its head, I've learned that I've got to deal with it. And I got to deal with me first. And sometimes I may seem standoffish with people. Sometimes people don't even realize how they can be and how they can talk and how the things they do and how they move with you, how it may aggravate you, how it may trigger something in you. And some of it is not intentional and some of it is intentional. And that's why I just kind of like, let me check myself, Lord. Because I may be taking this the wrong way. I may be looking at this not in the right perspective. I may be taking this personal. A lot of times I find that I am. And I say that person is toxic. They're poisonous. Toxic can be unto death. You should be able to have a discernment of spirit enough to know if something is going to be unto death to you. You don't want something to ever get that far with you. You understand? And not just others being toxic to you, but you being toxic to yourself. And you're holding on to those toxins yourself. And you're using them as like pawns in your hand. So you can continue to be petty. Continue to be traumatic to others. Continue to be abrasive and bruising to others. Because of your past and your traumas. Toxicity that happens in your life. We have to be careful. We have literally got to be careful. We really have to. It's good to want to solve the problems of the world. But I learned on this journey, I had to work on mine first. I can't help you if I can't help myself. I'm not going to no doctor. His nose running. He got snot everywhere, eyes red. He coughing and sneezing. But he telling me he want to give me a flu shot. I know you lying. I know you lying. You can't help me. That's going to be my thought process. That's going to be my thought process. I'm be like, dude, take care of yourself first before you try to practice on me. I just need us to think, people. I just need us to think, overcomers. I just need us to think how we do things. Think. Man, my grandma used to tell me that. Think, Bertha. What's she talking about think? I'm thinking when I think before you respond. Think before you react. Think before you open your mouth. Think before you put your mouth on people. Think. How will this affect my life? How will this affect my future? How will this affect my children? How will this affect my income? How will this affect my household? How will this affect my health? How will this affect my integrity, my character? Think. Think about those toxins. Those toxins that have entered in our lives and we had no control over them. And those toxins that we took in and we knew they were intentional when we allowed them to come in. And think about how we allow them to display. Think about how we protrude them back on others. Just think. Our mind is a powerful thing. Man, why do you think the enemy wants to set up a workshop in there? You know what goes on in a workshop? If a true workshop, you working. So let's think about things before we say and do. Let's think about the toxic that can dwell in all of us. We all can have a poisonous tongue. The Bible said the tongue is unruly evil. Everybody got a tongue. But how does that tongue operate? The tongue operates from your heart and your mind. That's how it's going to come out. Just moving my tongue is not evil that way. It's evil when I let my heart and my mind connect in a negative and toxic way. Just want you to be mindful. So, I know y'all listening. I know y'all be spying on my page. You ain't got to like, you ain't got to share. But I'm going to tell you anyway, I want some stars. I'm trying to understand all this stuff. I want some stars, I want some likes, and I want some shares. And I want you to go to LaviniaMasters.com, and I want you to order some tickets to come to the event December the 11th. And if you can't come, I want you to support a survivor of sexual violence. We're going to have Dr. Deandra Poe there. She's going to do some grounding. We're going to get to some root causes of our traumas. We're gonna have fun, but we're gonna be ugly at the same time. Men are invited. At first I didn't want to invite you. I got a surprise for y'all. Y'all gonna love me when it's over. And y'all wives gonna welcome me. She gonna appreciate me. Your girlfriends. You are welcome to come to the event December the 11th. First, I excluded y'all. I'm so sorry. I wanted to try something new, but I said, you know what? The times we are in right now, they are included. You are included. And I just want you to have a wonderful day. I know Thanksgiving is coming. And I'm being auntie. I'm being mama, Mimi, best friend, big sister, little sister, whatever I am to you right now. Sister warrior. I want us to think about toxic. I want us to look up toxic. I want us to get an understanding of it. Get a true understanding of what you think toxic is. And then I want you to look in the mirror. And I want you to say, do I have anything toxic in me? I bet you do. I bet you have. I bet you got something that's so repressed in you that you don't even think it matters. It matters. Especially when somebody triggers it or says something. Listen to people more than with just our ears. Listen with our hearts. Heart of compassion. And some people, you learn that they're toxic is because they are hurt so bad that they need you to help them and show them that this toxic can not only be contained, but some of it can be cleaned up. That's the truth. So, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to continue to be me. Because I love everything about me. And I love everything that God has brought me through to get to this space. And I can be one of the most hated, but that's okay. Because I have a message for many. And I know that it doesn't fall on deaf ears. And I know it doesn't always fall on ground that is not a seed that can't cause growth. And y'all may not appreciate me till I'm dead and gone. It may not be the next generation that pick up the internet one day and say, who was this lady? Lavinia Masters. That was big on overcoming. That was big on self-help cleaning ourselves, loving yourself. Loving me meant that I had to face some of my harsh realities. That's how much I love me. I had to face some of my harsh realities. I deserve to be loved. I am worthy. I am amazing. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. But I had some low down, trifling, spiteful, manipulative ways because of how I felt the hand of life dealt me. And I had almost an intentional motive to get back at people and others if they even tried to cross me or think they were going to hurt me again. But I had to change my mindset because I was adding more toxic to my life. And if I'm just toxic and I'm just stinking and I'm just poisonous, those things that are healthy and good for me, they're not going to want to be around me. They're not going to want to surround themselves with me because it can be choking. It can be killing to them. It can be overwhelming to others. So that is my purpose. I sacrifice my personal space. I sacrifice a lot of things about me. My transparency. Because I want you to be helped. I want you to be healed. I want us to be a better people. I see a lot of hurtful things. I see a lot of people ways. I see a lot of, and it disappoints me when I see people. And I try not to. I can't correct everybody. And we'll say, oh, it's just, and it is evil. The Bible speaks of that. And Satan is the prince of the air. I get that. But I still have a job. I still have a testimony. I still have a voice that I'm supposed to use in the midst of it all. Do we just sit back and let evil reign? Do we just let it destroy? When we know that there can be good, there can be goodness, there can be solutions, there can be ways. There can be opportunities for cleaning and healing? No. I refuse. I'm not going to live my life sitting back crying, woe is me, mad at the world, bitter, stained, expecting to always be abused, expecting to always be used, expecting to never have a great moment in time, expecting to stay depressed, expecting to always look for losses and things just always be bad for me. I refuse. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. The devil is a liar. He can go back to the pits of hell with that one. I'm going to look for my joyous occasions. I'm going to look for balance in everything I do. I'm going to look for everything to be great. I'm going to look for beyond what I see right now. And I'm going to give praise to God in the midst of it all. Because I know better days will be ahead for me. It may not look that way in the world, but for me, it's going to be better for me. Because my mental space, my emotional space, my psychological space, the way I think about myself, the way I look at life, the way I handle people, the way I deal with people, is greater for me. And I'm going to live my days out that way. I'm going to live for a better place in heaven. Yeah, we all live for a home. But I'm not going to let hell detour me on earth until I get there. I'm going to live my life like it's golden until I get there. I'm going to have peace until I get there. I'm going to do things that's great for me until I get there. You understand what I'm saying to you? Toxic. Define toxic in your life. Look up toxic in your life. Clean up toxic in your life. Contain toxic in your life. My point. Like I talked about the chemicals in the perms. There's nothing I can do about this trauma, the stain that the perms did to my hair. But do I go crazy with that? No. I go buy me some hair and I sew it in. Then I take my hair down and I let the hair that I have left breathe. I take care of what I have left. I maintain it. I let my head know I still love you. Even when it broke all off, when all this was going in the top, I still love you. I'm still going to condition you. I'm still going to wash you. I'm still going to be intentional about taking care of those things that was destroyed by toxins. So let's think about that. Let's look up the word toxic. Let's get those mirrors out. Identify our own toxins in our lives so we can learn how to clean and contain them. Let's not always look for the toxic in other folks' lives. And if you recognize them, and if you love them, if you're a friend, you can talk about it to them. Or better yet, pray for them. But some toxins don't mix. It will cause an explosion. And some toxins are unto death. So be mindful and be careful. I love you. I thank you for sharing. Those who popped in and out, Cynthia, Linda. These are not my reading glasses. These are my seeing glasses. I know, right? And these are my reading glasses. So I didn't have my reading glasses on because sometimes it magnifies the screen and it kind of scares me. But anyway, thank you for sharing with me today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for let's talking about toxins. Let's go into the holidays thanking God for what we have, who we are, everything around us, about us. Let's work on ourselves. Let's continue to work on ourselves. Let's continue to evolve. Nothing is wrong with evolving. Nothing is wrong with wanting to be a better you. Nothing is wrong with wanting to take care of your controlling your actions, your thoughts, and your ways so you can be a better person. Not for others, for you. I'm not going to change who I am just for my husband. I'm his ride or die. You understand me? Even though he thought I tried to kill him a couple of times, I'm his ride or die. But if I need change, I'm doing it for me first. And then we evolve together. Okay? So think about those toxins, honey. I don't know what kind of filter this is. I wanted a filter with eyelashes. I like eyelashes, y'all. I don't see no eyelashes on my eye. My shirt is, now that I got my seeing glasses, I'm reading glasses. This dang old shirt is a different color. And this shirt supposed to be blue. Anyway. Love you. I've probably been talking for an hour. But I had to just come talk to you about toxins. Hey guys, enjoy your Thanksgiving. And I will talk to you later. December the 11th is the event. Celebrate the Release Holiday Luncheon. Let's have fun, food fellowship, and let's do some deeping. Let's dig deep in ourselves. Let's work on us. Let's go into 2023 with a bang. Yeah, I'm excited. Be excited with me. Talk to you later. Lavinia out. Remember, toxic. Bye-bye.